Hello again for the 8th and final installment of the Ecovillage Industry series. I am, of course, your friendly neighborhood Green Prairie rep for Humber St. Barbara Vert. I'm pretty sure we're covering all the bases here. The last section, I guess, is the carpenter. I guess by rights, the carpenter and the blacksmith could be under the same umbrella, but they're both sufficiently lengthy topics for the value to their business to be two different threads. So, carpenter. I am a kayaker. Water sports make me happy. Scull boats, regatta, six-man rowboats, coxswain, kayaking, canoe, sailing, you name it. If it involves water, I'm in. And the value for selling, building and selling these boats, strip-built boats, stow-and-stitch method boats, wide plank, you name it. The selling potential is amazing. What's the name of it? There's one particular gentleman who sells strip-built kayaks. The most amazing things I've ever seen. They are works of art that float. Begins with a G. I forget it offhand. In the interests of my flowing non-stop videos to show my honesty or whatever, non-editing, look it up. I'll try and drop the name down below. Beautiful boats. Imagine being able to produce these things. Imagine a carpenter being able to build a door, to build your bed, to build your coffee table. Initially out of the spruce, pine, and fir that currently exists in the heavily wooded area of the property. When we clear the land, we cut down the trees in as efficient a method as possible when we clear certain sections for the farm. But eventually we'll be importing, I know this is a bad word, importing the materials required for the carpenter: oak, fir, ebony, stone wood. It's beautiful stuff. I want the materials in the community to last to eternities. I want the new homes that are built in the project to outlast my grandchildren. The way homes used to be built. A house 200 years ago in Newfoundland may well still be standing. It's built that well. And the garbage people live in now turns my guts. It may just be my civil engineering background, but people don't know how to build a house to save their lives. There was a time when if you did a good job, maybe expensive, but you were the person they hired because this is your house. These days, they could hire a dyslexic with no thumbs to build a house if it was cheaper. Ridiculous stuff I've seen go up. So I want a person who is able to shape wood like putty. I want someone to build a staircase and carve a growing vine up the long side, up the side of the building. I want a carpenter to be able to build things out of wood that you've only heard about. For example, in the apartment that I'm living in right now, it's above an office in Corner Brook. This house is 80 years old. The windows have pulleys built into them with wooden counterweights. When you lift the window, a yellow braided piece of wood slides up a pulley on the top of the windowsill, goes into the box that's actually set into the wall, where a wooden pulley holds it down. The two pulleys equal the weight of the window, so if you move the window up and down, it stays put without friction. That's incredible! I love the idea of people being able to say that they can build a cupboard, and build it to exacting specifications that will not fall apart. The factory fabricated garbage that people buy today, that are made out of expensive petroleum-based glue, epoxies, and glued together sawdust laminate crap, turns my stomach. When I used to work at nameless lumber store in their lumber yard, the kind of garbage people would buy. I once saw a person buy particle board, which is glued together sawdust, as an indoor-outdoor wood material who didn't intend to paint it. He may as well use Play-Doh. It's genuinely infuriating for me to see stupid people do stupid things and are convinced that they know better than those who have education in the field. Infuriating. Anyway, I want a carpenter to be able to train people to make everything from a door box to a chess set. I've seen some amazing treadle lathes, like, you know, your grandmother's Singer sewing machine, like I mentioned in video 3 in this series. You push the treadle, and it moves a series of pulleys, and it spins a lathe center that actually will turn a wooden 2x2 or 3x3 inch piece of wood, and with a sharpened chisel, courtesy of your local blacksmith, you can file that down into chess pieces. Why not? With sufficient skill, sufficient practice, why not indeed? No reason why your coffee table can't be made out of mahogany, and your bed made out of teak, and your kitchen table made out of oak. Why not? If you have these things built by hand, by someone who you know and love in your community, someone you share a fence with, the rules change. You aren't buying a garbage brand name because it's the cheapest you can find. You aren't buying a piece of upholstery made entirely out of petroleum products because you love the color. If you want a leather sofa, you know the name of the animal where the leather came from. Many people's views, it may be considered barbaric. I think it's honorable. I want to know that the animal that sacrificed its life, or had its life sacrificed, I guess, to produce that leather, also had its meat used, also had its milk used, who was treated well and slaughtered humanely. I want to know that is the case. Otherwise, how do you? If you buy factory-fed animals, if you've seen the way chickens are treated in some of these factories, you would never eat chicken again. If you benefit from the wholesale brutality of these animals, I'm no more innocent or guilty than anyone else. That makes us accomplices. But if you know you only buy products from responsibly raised, responsibly bred, responsibly used animals, then you may, you know, your 5-year-old may cry when you killed a chicken that he named, but you've got to eat. And that's why that chicken existed. That's why the chicken did exist in nature, to be eaten. It's called a food chain. So the carpenter will be a part of that particular chain of life. The carpenter will build those pens. The carpenter will build the table that holds up your food. Will build the structures. Will create the buildings that will house your children. And that carpenter will train everyone else. So the goal is that every person wear every hat. That the weaver knows something about carpentry, and the healer knows something about blacksmithy. It'll help you appreciate what your neighbors are doing for you, and that'll happen by osmosis anyway. It's going to be a small knit community. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching the carpentry video. Most of the tools can be done by treadle. There are a lot of hand tools. Look to the Amish to see what they produce and some of the master work that they've done. I want to see a lot of Victorian stuff, a lot of carving, a lot of beautiful polish. The trick will be wood stains and paints that aren't toxic in nature. They may well exist, they may not. We shall see what our options are as the research continues. Thank you so much for watching. It has been an absolute pleasure. And please look forward to future video series as the days progress. And I hope that you visit the Ecovillage website and that this piques your interest a little bit in Tir Tairngire. Thanks for watching.